Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining me today as we talk about self esteem. So, in the month of June, we're going to cover love and relationship, but I think the most important relationship is the relationship with yourself. So, today I want to cover self esteem, which is really the foundation for your entire life. It affects how you think, it affects how you show up in the world and the decisions that you make every single day. Today, I want to go into the sixth pillar of self-esteem, which are created by the legendary psychiatrist Nathaniel Branden. Um, he talks about the six pillars that are not just theories; they're actually very practical, and when you apply them, they will transform how you feel about yourself. Stay until the end because I will give you some special challenge that you can start today to boost your self-esteem. I want to start with this first pillar. The first pillar is the practice of living consciously. Imagine waking up every day, going through the motion, scrolling through the phone, and reacting to life instead of actually creating it. That's what it's like to live unconsciously. Living consciously means being aware of your thoughts, of your feelings, of your actions. It means not to running on autopilot, but actually being fully present in your life. Think about a time when you actually felt that you're truly present. Maybe watching a sunset, maybe just having a deep conversation or creating something. You felt alive. That's living consciously. So, what happens when we do not live consciously? We first let bad habits control us. We don't question our thoughts. We don't question our beliefs. We live passively instead of living intentionally. Living consciously means that you are choosing awareness over living in autopilot. It's not noticing your thoughts, your patterns, your reactions, and asking, is this who I want to be? To live consciously means to seek to be aware of everything that bears on our action, our purpose, values, and goals. So, what does it look like? Living consciously is when you notice your triggers, when you know what triggers you. It's when you observe your habits and you make intentional choices. There is another book that's called The Courage to Be Disliked. The philosopher there says people fabricate anger. Why? Because they are unaware that they are choosing it in the moment. That's unconscious living. It's when you give in to whatever is happening to you without consciously realizing what it's doing to you. So, your challenge for this pillar over the next 24 hours is really to ask yourself at any given situation, am I being present or am I just going through the motions? Second pillar is to practice self acceptance. How often do we actually reject ourselves? We are the biggest critics of ourselves. We judge, we criticize, we compare ourselves. But what if I told you that the foundation of confidence is radical self acceptance, which means self acceptance doesn't really mean that you stop growing. It just means that you acknowledge yourself the way you are, flaws, and everything in between without self rejection. Imagine a little kid learning to walk. They fall, they get up, they try again. They don't just say, I'm much a failure to walk. I'm just not going to do it. But as an adult, we do this to ourselves all the time. Once something doesn't go the way we want, we just say we're not good enough. We're failures. The truth is, if you don't accept yourself, you will always seek external validation. And no amount of praise will ever be enough. You can't grow from a place of self hatred. Self acceptance is not resignation, it's honesty. It's looking at who you are without judgment and saying, this is me and I am worthy of love and growth. Self acceptance is my refusal to be in a relationship that is not good with yourself. It is the courage to be disliked. All problems are interpersonal relationship problems. But the most important relationship is the one with yourself. What part of yourself do you resist to accept? What would happen if you met it with compassion instead of criticism? If you listened Monday, I asked you to look in the mirror, and most people can't do that for a long time. And actually, some people will start crying when they look at themselves and say something like, I love you. But if you start every morning looking in the mirror and just say, I accept myself unconditionally, that would help you so much in accepting yourself just the way you are. The third pillar is the practice of self-responsibility. Here is a hard truth. No one is coming to save you. You are responsible for your own life. I had a live a little while ago about nobody's coming to save you, and it's so true. Self-responsibility means owning your choices, owning your actions, and even your results. It's easy to blame others, but the true power comes from saying, I am responsible for where I am, and I have the power to change it. Think about a scenario. Two people lose their job. One person is going to blame the economy, start complaining, accuse XYZ for whatever circumstances they are in, whereas person B takes action, learns a new skill, and finds a better job. Same situation, two different mindsets. So I want you to identify one area where you have been blaming external factors. Take one action today to take that control back. This is a big one. You are responsible for your choices. You are responsible for your happiness. And you are responsible for your growth. No one is coming to save you. It's scary, but it's also liberating. No one is coming to make life right for us. It is our own responsibility. The courage to be happy also includes the courage to be disliked. Why? Because living authentically might ruffle feathers. But that's your responsibility, not theirs. So ask yourself, where am I giving away my power by blaming others? Take that power back. The fourth pillar, the practice of self-assertiveness. If you don't stand up for yourself, who will stand up for you? Self-assertiveness is the ability to express yourself authentically. Ask for what you need and set boundaries. Think about a time when you wanted to say something, you wanted to say no, but you didn't. How did you feel afterwards? Probably frustrated, probably disrespected. So, what happens when you're not assertive? People walk all over you. We suppress our feelings, we lose self respect. So, this week, practice saying no to one thing that does not align with your values. Being assertive doesn't mean being aggressive, it means standing up for who you are and for what you need without shrinking, without apologizing, and without over explaining. Self assertiveness means honoring my wants, my needs, and values, and seek the appropriate form for their expression. In the book, The Courage to Be Disliked, it says that you stop living for approval. You have to stop living for that. You are not living to satisfy others' expectations. Affirm with me. Say this affirmation. My voice matters. My presence matters. I will no longer dim my light. The fifth pillar is the practice of living purposefully. Have you ever woken up feeling lost? Like you were just going through the motion? That's what happens when you don't have a purpose, when you don't live with a purpose. Living purposefully means setting meaningful goals, taking actions towards these goals. And again, if I compare two people, imagine just two individuals. One just drifts through life without goals. The other wakes up excited with clear goals, clear visions. Who do you think will feel more fulfilled? Without purpose, life feels empty. With purpose, every day has a meaning. Write down one small goal for this week and take actions on it. When you have a clear purpose, your life becomes more than a series of reactions. You become a creator, not just a consumer of life. To live purposefully, it is to use our power for the attainment of goals that we have selected. You don't find purpose. You choose a purpose. Contribute to a community because this is a highest form of a purpose. True freedom of being disliked by others without fear is still choosing to contribute. Write down one purpose-driven actions that you can take this week. Something that lights you up, something that serves others. And the sixth pillar is the practice of personal integrity. Integrity is doing the right thing even when nobody's watching. Integrity is who are you when you are behind closed doors and nobody's there with you. Integrity means aligning your action with your values. It's about being honest with yourself as well as others. Imagine you promised yourself you'll wake up early to work, to do whatever goal you set. But then you keep hitting the snooze button. Every time you break a promise to yourself, you weaken your self-trust. And why does it matter? Because when you act with integrity, you feel good about yourself. When you don't, you feel guilty and your self-esteem drops. Pick one small commitment and just follow through on it, no matter what. This pillar is about alignment. It's about doing what you say that you will do and being who you say you are going to be, even when no one is watching. When my behavior is congruent with my values, I feel self-esteem. You are the only one who can assign worth to your life. Ask yourself, am I living with alignment with my values? Or am I just trying to be liked? Have the courage to be disliked. If you are disliked by at least one person, that means you are doing something right. The most important thing is don't lose yourself. Like yourself enough to be disliked by someone else. Self esteem isn't something that you have, it's something that you build through actions. And I want to give you this bonus challenge. The next 6 days, I want you to commit to one small pillar because I want you to achieve that greatest self esteem within this week. The first thing is be conscious. Notice one moment of reactivity and pause. When something triggers you, this is actually the idea of Kabbalah as well. When something triggers you, when there's something that's happening, pause. Take a moment before reacting. Be grateful for that moment before you react. The second thing is accept yourself. Write down 3 things that you appreciate about you. You deserve it. Number 3, take responsibility. Own one area where you have been blaming someone else for what you've done. Take responsibility for that. No one is coming to save you. Number 4, speak up. Use your voice in a moment where you would have normally stayed quiet. If you don't think you should do something you are asked, and it takes away from where you actually have to be, don't do it. Be firm. Don't be apologetic. If it's not something that aligns with you and your values, don't feel obligated. Number 5, live purposefully. Choose one action that aligns with your deeper mission, whatever that mission might be. And number 6, act with integrity. Keep one promise to yourself, no matter how small it is. If you said you're going to wake up and go to the gym, wake up and go to the gym. Honor your word to yourself. And that is more important because if you can't honor a word to yourself, you certainly cannot honor for others. This isn't about feeling good. It's about framework. It's a daily practice that transforms your identity and your future. Self-esteem is not the result of outer achievements. It is the cause. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be present. You need to be committed. Start today. One small act of courage at a time. I hope that helped, and I'm looking forward to hear what you have to say about that. On Monday, I will have a live session with an author, and I hope that you have registered. There's the author's name is Justin. That would be next Monday. Please register. As I said, I also have 2 love and relationship coaches running throughout the lives that I'm doing this month. And looking forward to see you Monday for the second week of June on love and relationships. Enjoy your day, guys.